If you're here for my last video, I want to thank you for watching it. Any video with over 100 views is crazy to me since I'm literally like nothing right now. And like I said in the last video, I was thinking of watching the Monsterverse and here we are. Unlike the last one, I'm not going to do a tier list since there are only 5 movies so far in this universe. If you are new here, I'm basically going through different movie marathons to rank all of them. I did a Pixar tier list in my last video, so if you haven't seen that, I'd suggest to check that out. Here's what my rating system looks like as a reminder, and I'd like to stress it again, 7 means good. Reminder that this is my opinion, so if you guys disagree, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you are new here, click that subscribe button for more videos like this and some gaming videos as well. Just a reminder that there are spoilers ahead, and without further ado, let's get started. The intro to this movie was devastating. Really got you connected to the family and then immediately kills off the mom. I think my least favorite part of this movie has to be the Mutos because they kinda seem mid to me. They're just giant but never really seemed intimidating, mostly due to the bug-like structure. The scenes are destructive, and I think one of the craziest in the movie is when the EMP blast literally drops all the airborne vehicles. Godzilla's design in this movie is solid, and does his job at being intimidating, and his roaring scenes are peak. Ford is a good character as well, and I'm glad he got to reunite with his family at the end, since they gave this man such a tragic start to the movie. This was a good introduction to the new Godzilla, and the best representation of him in this universe. Kong has always been my favorite since I grew up watching the 2005 film. I really liked how this movie was filled with storylines. Glenn is my favorite character because of how funny he is, and I am so glad he made it to the end of the movie because I could not remember if he died or not. Samuel Jackson's character is an absolute menace, and he was very confusing because he was angry throughout the entire film. Like, I get that he wanted to kill Kong because of his men dying, but this man was in a bad mood the entire time, even before they arrived. The island is a very menacing and intense environment, and I like a lot of the wildlife introduced throughout the film. Hank's storytelling of the island and origins of Kong was a great way to introduce the lore of the character. There were also a lot of insane death scenes in the film. The craziest one to me is when the trees are revealed to be giant spider legs, and the shot of the leg piercing through the guy's mouth is nasty. Cole's death scene is probably top 5 funniest death scene of all time, since it was so dramatic and Bro got flung and immediately made his decision stupid. My least favorite thing about this film are the skull crawlers, since they also don't seem menacing to me. I feel like they would have been good as regular dangerous wildlife, but not as the main antagonist of the film. Kong himself did good in this film and had one of the hardest shots ever with the helicopters approaching him with the sun in the back. The movie is still great and does a very good job at introducing a brand new Kong. This movie was so bad, and I don't know how they could mess it up like that. This felt way too long and would have been much better as a highlight reel. The only good things in this movie are the monsters and the fights. The story was so stupid and just dragged on for too long. It felt like there's a new objective every time, and it kept losing my attention span. I just look back at the screen and wonder why the movie is still on. I hate how the entire movie's plot just starts because they want to save the world by destroying it. And the dumb bitch constantly switches her morals and decisions, and it feels like the whole movie revolves around her, since it feels like a new objective spawns every time she changes her mind. The best thing in this movie is the shot of Ghidorah roaring on the volcano. The story drags on for so long that it feels like the monsters are fighting in the background, and the movie is just about how someone is trying to end humanity. The movie is bad, and if you want to enjoy this movie, watch a YouTube video of the fights, because that's the only entertaining thing. A long-awaited crossover between the two monsters, and it did good enough. I don't like how Godzilla gets downscaled to match Kong's power. As much as I like Kong, it's obvious that a giant monkey is not beating a radioactive, monstrous alligator lizard dinosaur. I would have rather had Kong become absolutely insane and upscaled to match Godzilla's power rather than reverse. The movie is still good, and I think Bernie is the best character in this film. He is really funny, and it's fun to see his journey at discovering what Apex was really up to. The Hollow Earth is a very good origin and home for the Titans, and they do a very good job at exploring the environment. The creatures in Hollow Earth are decent as well, which makes it seem like there's a lot more to discover, which we eventually do in the next film. The fight scenes are epic, and the battleship shot of Kong punching Godzilla is great. Mechagodzilla is a great villain, and I really like the final battle of this film. They did a good job at proving that Mechagodzilla was an upgraded Godzilla, which made sense for the two monsters to team up and take it down. This movie does a much better job at investing viewers into the storyline, especially with showing the deep connection between the girl and Kong. It feels like we are more involved with the monsters as characters, rather than them just being destructive in the background. It feels like the story is actually involved during the fights, which doesn't make it as boring as the last one. With all of that combined, this is a good film overall and was not a giant letdown for the first crossover between the two titans. I enjoyed this movie since it felt like a funny movie. I loved all the new monkeys, and the scene of Kong just chucking Zuko was hilarious. The journey between the two was fun to watch. The battles that Kong has are great, and I love the trap scene and also the Leviathan battle. This movie did good at showing Kong's evolution really well, and proved that he is now at greater strength. I think, however, this movie really didn't need to be a crossover film. Godzilla felt useless in this film since he was absent most of the time. Scar King was also disappointing, as I thought he'd be more of a menace. He's instead just a bad monkey that needs Shimo to be at full strength. I think this film would have been better if they kept it inside Hollow Earth and excluded Shimo and Godzilla entirely. The film is still solid, but I would have rather had it be a giant monkey war, like a Titan version of Caesar vs. Koba. Not much films to rate, but the Monsterverse is decent. The introduction films were the best films, and it's clear that Godzilla and Kong are better having standalone films. Their powers should not be at the same strength, and the crossovers kind of feel forced, especially since they have very different types of enemies. Godzilla King of Monsters is easily the worst film in this universe, and it really let me down, especially with Ghidorah being such a cool monster. With the next movie being named Supernova, I hope it's more focused on Godzilla's story, with Kong just being there to help, kind of like the opposite of their first team up. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like and comment what you think below. If you guys are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button for more videos like this, and some gaming content as well. That's it for this one, I'll see y'all next time.